Hi, my name is Nurini Zani Bitizanizam. My matric is number 17 DAS19F1077, and today I will explain the introduction of this case study. So the title of this study is Detailed Environmental Impact Assessment for the Proposed Development of HR-PIB Complex on part of Block C500 and part of Block B500 at Lot 139, Gebang Industrial Estate, Kuantan, Pahang. So the proposed project is known as the HR-PIB or Honeydew Project. As we know, any development project planned to improve the quality of life has some built-in positive and negative impacts. The development project should be planned in such a manner that it has maximum positive impacts and minimum negative impacts on the environment. Prediction of the environmental impacts of construction in the early stage of projects may lead to improvement in the environmental performance of construction project and sites. It is expected that construction damage to fragile environment because of adverse impacts of construction. These impacts include resource depletion, biological diversity losses due to raw material extraction, landfill problems due to waste generation, lower worker productivity, adverse human health due to poor indoor air quality, global warming, and etc. So here are some project proponent and consultants details. So we proceed to the details of the project proponent, which is the project proponent is BASF Petronas Chemicals STH Berhad, and the address is in Jalan Gebang 2/1, Kawasan Perindustrian Gebang 26080, Kuantan, Pahang, Darul Makmur, Malaysia. So the contact person is Mr. Azmawi bin Muhammad, and the EIA consultant in Chim Sain Consultant SDN Berhad, address in number 41, first floor, Jalan USC 10/1D 47620, Subang Jaya, Selangor, Darul Islam, Malaysia. So the contact person is Miss Lina Chan, the EIA team leader. So next, this project is expected to cater for the fast-growing market in Southeast Asia, and the siting of the HR-PIB plant in Malaysia has put the project at its logistic advantage. And then this proposed project shall provide new economic growth to Malaysia as it is the first of such plant to be built in Malaysia. And this proposed project will open new opportunities to the local contractor where about 1,000 workers are expected to be involved during construction stage. This will stimulate economic growth among the local industry in Malaysia. About 30 workers are required during operational stage to cater for 4 shifts, which may include new employment or personnel to be reallocated from the current OXO complex team. The proposed project will provide development of skills and technology transfer locally and internationally, which will cover BBC-owned personnel as well as the supporting contractors and engineers.
Hi, my name is Afiqah binti Yusri. My matric number is 17-19F1029. I will explain about project description. First, we have to know legal requirement. Legal requirement. First, this project is categorized as an activity prescribed under Article 8B. Environment Quality Assigned Activity Environment Impact Assessment Order 1987 was made under Section 34A of the Environment Quality Act 1974. Second, to obtain approval to implement this project, the EIA report must be submitted to Department of Environment or DOE of Putrajaya. Third, Detailed Environment Impact Assessment or DEIA for petrochemical activity. All sites are required by DOE under Section 34A Environment Quality Act 1974. Second, in project description is project concept. First, the technical concept is based on different of existing HR-PIB plan in Ludwigshafen in Germany and Nanjing in China. Second, the plant will be producing 3 different HRPIB products ready to cater to market requirements. Third, the logistic concept for this proposed project cover 1 check tank, 5 storage tank, 1 restore tank, and facility for truck loading within the HRPIB plant. Next, the existing control building as well as infrastructure and facility for safety, healthy, and environmental logistics, utility, operation, and maintenance will be utilized where is possible. After that, this new plant will be supported by a new shift team and managed by existing managed team for OXO complex. Last, the scope of this EIA will cover the process HRPIB plant to boiler facility as well as the associated facility during the operational stage. Third, from project description is construction and installation stage. The construction and installation stage is expected to have the following activities. First, mobilization of worker and machine. First, include setting of sites, office, sanitary facility, and other temporary facility required for the construction work. Second, about 100 personnel are expected to be involved during the construction stage. This construction work will be accommodation of sites. Second is accessibility. Sign the work area are located within and near operating facility with the ICS. A dedicated and secure access will be provided for the movement of construction vessels and the workers. This dedicated access will be removed upon completion of the construction and installation stage. Third is foundation work. Some soil and foundation improvement work are intercepted, especially at area to be loaded with plant components. Earthwork will be very minimal. Typical foundation work include piling. After that is civil and structural works. Civil and structural works involve farm work, casting, and building component of the purpose project. This work will include upgrading of the existing access road to the sites and the establishment of internal access road. Stormwater drainage system will be installed throughout the site to collect runoff water and proper conveying to discharge points. Structural steel work may include fabric, erection, painting, sheeting, and cladding works. After that is mechanical and electrical work. Mechanical work, equipment installation, and electrical work are necessary during the installation of all equipment and components. This will include the necessary piping, electricity, material, and water supply connection with external source. For this slide is testing and commissioning. Component of the plant will be commissioned as the complete various load test and performance test will be conducted. All the associated plant components are commissioned. During this testing and commission period, the operation mode will be fine-tuned and optimized where necessary. After that, demobilization of work and temporary facility. One completion of the development of the project, all temporary facility will be removed from site and this should include any excess of construction material and waste. Last for project description is operational stage. Operational stage. The HRPIB plan will be controlled from the exist OXO control room. Operation of the HRPIB plan is a large automated and controlled via process control system and will be fully operated by a new shift team and managed by exist managed team of the OXO complex. These are 5 main sections in HRPIB process. First is polymerization, second termination and phase separation, soft preparation, oligomer separation, and wastewater treatment.
Okay, from physical environment, topography. The proposed project site is relatively flat. The site is prepared platform. Soil and geology mainly located on organic soils in principally pits with some marks. Developed over mineral alluvial soils in poorly drained situations. Off-limit suitability of agricultural development. The bedrock is underlined with marine and continental deposits of clay, silt, and sand, and pit with minor gravel of basalt of early Pleistocene age in the Kuantan area. Hydrology and drainage. The GIE and its associated industrial facilities are effectively isolated from natural drainage system. A proposed design drainage system comprising a network of stormwater drain channels. Drainage system discharge into both Sungai Tunggak and Sungai Balok. The project site discharge into PKNP, stormwater drain, and ultimately into Sungai Balok, which is 1 kilometer to the west of the ICS. Meteorology. Kuantan experiences the northeast monsoon occurring from November to March and the southwest monsoon occurring from May to September. The 24-hour mean temperature fluctuated in a small range around 26.4 degrees Celsius with a mean maximum temperature of 27.4 degrees Celsius and a mean minimum temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. The average annual 24-hour relative humidity in 85.2%. Average annual rainfall recorded at Kuantan Airport over the period 1968 to 2012 is approximately 2,983.8 millimeter with an average of 189 rainy days per year. Water quality. Most of the water parameters tests could comply with Class 2B requirement of the NWQSM. The calculated water quality index was in the range of 85 to 90, which exhibit Class 2 water quality. Noise quality. Both daytime and nighttime noise levels at all monitoring locations could comply with Department of Environmental stipulated limits to 70 dBA. air quality. Ambient air quality at the 4 monitoring locations complied with the recommended ambient air quality guideline limits. Volatile organic compounds in ambient air were all below the respective test detection limits. Generally, the particulate and gases levels at the project site were higher as compared to the other monitoring location. Groundwater. It was observed that groundwater samples from BH2 and BH14 had iron level higher than the SSL guideline limit, and it was reported that manganese level in BH1A samples was higher than the respective SSL guideline limit. Besides that, arsenic level at BH2 and BH8 were higher than SSL's guideline limits of 1.145 microgram per liter. Most of the test groundwater parameters were present in low levels or were below the test detection limits. Total petroleum, hydrocarbon, volatile organic carbon, and semi-volatile organic carbon were not detected. From aspect biological environment, flora and fauna, the site is covered with a tar and used as temporary storage area. No vegetation of ecological significance was observed at the site. Aquatic ecology. About 22 genera from 5 different groups of phytoplankton. There is Bacillariophyta, Cyanophyta, Dinophyta, Chlorophyta, and Chrysophyta were found. A total of 8 different phyla with 43 families of zooplankton were identified. The aspect land use and human environment. Land use. The proposed project site will be located within the existing ICS in Phase 3 of the Gebeng Industrial Estate Kuantan. The GIE is primarily intended for chemical and photochemical industries. The Pahang and Development Corporation is the authority responsible for the development and management of the industrial estate. The land use within the zone of study is mostly industrial. Based on the Rancangan Tempatan Kuantan 2010 to 2015, the project site and its immediate surrounding areas are zoned for industrial. Human settlement. The nearest sensitive receptor is the ILP, which is approximately 3 km away from the project site. The nearest residential area is Taman Balok Makmur, which is approximately 3 km away from project site.
Okay, socioeconomy survey. The survey showed the majority of the respondents think the proposed project will benefit the state 68%, the local community 46%. Second, 46% expressed that there may be some environment concerns. Third, 36% of the respondents are not sure. Majority of the respondents view that change to air and water should be concerns, and after that followed by the healthy and safety risk plus potential change to fisher resource. Next, dialogue with the community and stakeholder. First, carry out represent of the project proponent, environmental, consultant, industry holder, and representative from resident area. On 9 September 2014, within BPC ICS facility, dialogue aimed to brief the stakeholder on the project scope and dissemination in the information. For air quality impacts, have construction stage. In construction stage, first is fugitive dust emission. Construction activities has the potential. Second, to result in localized impact on air quality unless controlled. Next, air quality impact have operation stage. So first, air quality modeling results show the emission for all potential air pollution. Second, which include NO2, SO2, PM10, HCI, and HF. Next is new steam boiler will access based on the emission standard in the New Gazetted CAR 2014. After that, predicate concentration of the potential air pollution, where within in Malaysia emission air quality guideline target year 2020. Last, standard for NO2, SO2, AND, PM10, and the Arizona emission air quality guideline for HCI and HF. Air quality mitigation measure. For construction stage, exposed soil area, excavated material, and stockpiles must be dammed or covered during day and wind day to reduce fugitive dust. Second, prohibit open burning. Third, full burning equipment to be regularly maintained and serviced to prevent the emergency of dark smoke. Last, speed limit to be imposed on vehicle entering the project site to reduce dust. Next is operation stage. First, minimize fugitive leak by proper engineering measure. Second, continue emission monitor system or CEMS to be installed at the new steam boiler chimney to monitor all pollutant level. The CEMS shall be connected online to the DOE Farhan. Last, ensure the new steam boiler is well maintained and be able to receive and safely treat of gas from the proper HRBIB plant.
So what is water quality in mitigation measure? So control measures installed shall be maintained and repaired as necessary throughout its service period. Application of process integrated acetone treatment and crystallector treatment is required for the proposed HRBIB plant. Should be centralized, WWTP fails or shuts down, the overall process activity of the HRBIB plant will be shut down until the WWTP resumes its operation. Performance monitoring at the wastewater treatment system shall be implemented as per requirement of the Environmental Quality Industrial Effluent Regulation 2009 to ensure effective wastewater treatment. So let's see from the water quality impact. So from the construction stage, we can see the project site is small and earth moving works are limited. It is anticipating that the impact on water quality is minimal and temporary, as the number of workers will increase gradually and duration of work for each group of workers at site is short term. It is proposed that temporary holding tank, and it is used to contain sewage generated during construction stage, and likeliness for sewage to enter nearby water bodies is considered to be negligible. And the operation stage. which is the water quality modeling was conducted to predict concentration of fluoride and boron in Sungai Balok during operation stage. About 7 to 9 m3 per inch of wastewater will be channeled to be centralized WWTP, and it is treated effluent discharge will comply with Standard B Environmental Quality Industrial Effluent Regulation 2009. Stage, noise impact from construction activities are temporary in duration and can generally to control to within acceptable. And from the operation stage is noise levels during normal plant operation are expected to be below 70 dBA and at the boundaries of the BPCICS. No noise impact at community areas are expected during the operational stage. So what is the mitigation measure for noise? First, enclosure or other type of acoustic measure shall be applied on equipment. Second, which contribute to noise levels higher than 85 dBA. And safety signage shall be installed to inform workers of areas with high noise level. And last one, the provision to workers who work in high noise level areas with adequate protective devices such as earmuffs or earplugs. So, from the health view, we can see the impact, which is non-carcinogenic chronic health risk assessment for specified air pollutants individually and as a combined total at identified receptor locations indicated that the calculated HI values of emission pollutant concentration were below 1. And then this suggests an unlikely chronic health impact inclusive of developmental toxicity from the operation of the proposed HRPIB plant during both normal operation scenarios and the projected worst case emission scenario. And then we go through mitigation measure, which is all emission control equipment is to be operated and maintained to ensure constant compliance with the DOE's recommended emission limits. And in the event of a failure resulting in the generation of air pollutant, which may exceed emission limits, communication protocols for notification of emergency authorities and surrounding residents of the emergency should be established. So we will proceed to the risk assessment impact. Okay, so the first one is 1 times 10 to the power of -6 per year IR control remains within the ICA's site boundary, and then 1 times 10 to the power of -6 per year IR remains within the ICS site boundary and does not encompass involuntary response of the industrial risk. And it is to be noted that the risk from the proposed HRPIB plant is insignificant in comparison with the current risk profile of the existing ICS plants. So what is the mitigation measure? First, it's conduct hazard identification and the hazard during design engineering phases. The existing ICS emergency response plan ERP shall be updated to address all potential scenarios in relation to those identified in the QRA for the project. And last one, ensure the implementation of an effective health and safety management system. Construction waste will be generated, including construction waste, schedule waste, and domestic waste. And from the operation stage, it is two major types of waste are domestic waste and schedule waste. Domestic waste are from the offices, while the schedule waste are largely industrial waste, and it is including used oil and spent catalysts.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Farhan bin Kamar Zaman. My matrix card number is 17-19F1023. Okay, today I'm going to present about ANC. Okay, first mitigation measure for waste generation. Okay, first is construction stage. Minimize generation of solid waste by sound planning of material usage using reusable item and encourage 3 Fs. No open burning. For operation stage is first point is good housekeeping. Second point spill kits are to be made available for the containment or clean up or spills. Third, collection, recovery, or disposal of scheduled waste shall be by DOE licensed transporters to approved and licensed premise. Okay, next. For traffic and transport impact, first is construction stage. JIE has a good road network and the main access to the ICS of low traffic. Second point, it is envisaged that the traffic impact during construction stage on the existing road network will not to be significant. Third point, it is important to be implement road safety and traffic management at the entrance to the project site. For operation stage is, first point is overall traffic volume from ICS is not expected. Second point is to have any additional impact on the existing road. Okay, for mitigation measure for traffic and transport, construction stage. First point is avoid transportation of material and use heavy vehicle during peak period. Second point is provision of flatman or traffic management team to control movement of traffic during peak hours. For operation stage is speed limit and other traffic laws should be strictly observed. Second point, comply with the safety procedure and regulation as stipulated by the Road Transport Department. Third point is collaboration with local communities and responsible. Okay, impact for socio-economy is local community concern. First point for local community concern is main concern of the local community are related. And the second point for local community concern is to deterioration of air and water quality as well as health and safety well-being. For potential beneficial impact, first point is development of foreign direct investment in Malaysia. Second point, the project is expected to increase by employment and business opportunities for local and business opportunities for the locals. Okay, third point, innovation and productivity. And the last point for potential beneficial impact is corporate social responsibility. For mitigation measure or socio-economic, continue stakeholder engagement and CSR effort. Second, establish a mechanism to deal with reverse and expectation from local stakeholders. Third point, collaboration with local communities on education about health and safety subject. And last point for mitigation measure, socio-economic is provide information and involve to the communities within the zone of influence in emergency preparedness and response plans relevant risks in case of major accident. For aquatic ecology, starting is impact. The toxic effect of heavy metal, fluoride and boron. Second, two aquatic organisms is governed by several factors that include: third, form and concentration type and characteristic. Example is life stage of organisms and period and type of exposure, acute and chronic. For mitigation measure is effluent discharge from the centralized WWTP to comply with environmental quality regulation 2009. Third point for mitigation measure aquatic ecology is periodical water quality monitoring along the receiving water is recommended to verify on change of river water quality over time. Periodical food tainting analysis to be conducted to determine fluoride and boron accumulation. Okay, for project abandonment impact, if the project is abandoned during the construction stage, it will involve the dismantling and removal of all construction material. Second point, it will involve the dismantling or demolition of the whole facility and related infrastructure. Third, All unused raw material would need to be transferred out and all scheduled waste would need to be properly disposed to licensed treatment facility. 4. All contaminated land would need to be identified and remediated and the site rehabilitated. Second last is to a condition that is safe, stable and does not severely impact on the surrounding environment. Last one is work cause local worker to lose their job. Okay, for mitigation measure, for project abandonment, a detailed abandonment plan shall be prepared and submit to DOE. Proper cover crops to be established on clear area to ensure not severe soil erosion. All waste shall be properly disposed at approved and or licensed facility. Okay, the conclusion is perceived residual impact are associated with the air quality and associated health risks, water quality and marine ecology, as well as safety risk during operational stage. It is suggests that while residual impact will remain, the impact will be within Malaysia planning and environmental standard and regulation, and will not cause significant adverse effect on the surrounding environment. In order to ensure that measures implemented are effective at all times and residual impact remain insignificant, an environmental management plan with associated environmental monitoring and auditing as well as emergency response plan is recommended to the proponent. The DIA has demonstrated that with proper incorporation of the recommended mitigating measure, the proposed HLPIB project can be implemented with acceptable environmental risk and impact. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.